Thank you for joining in. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for joining in. Thank you, Divine, for joining in. Thank you for joining in. Thank you, Mr. Edward, for joining in. Thank you, Meta, for joining in. This evening, I'm going to be reporting very important information that is happening now, that is happening in West Africa, the atrocity. And it's imperative that the United States government intervenes right away. It is something that if the United States neglect, it will reach a point where it's going to be difficult. So it will reach a point where it will be difficult to solve the problems. And so that is what I'm going to be talking this night, and I will continue again tomorrow. And thank you for all for tuning in. I will begin by the United States National Anthem. Thank you and good evening. Here again, my name is Fonton Daniel. I'm speaking here from the great state of Texas. It is very, very important that the United States make and their drastic decisions. I understand how difficult it is, but we have been speaking here, it's a year today or more. And we have been I have been speaking about the issues that is occurring in the West African state. And this is a very, very important that the United States intervene. Many citizens, this request goes to fellow citizens here in the United States, and many people are not aware of the atrocity that is going on in Africa. Maybe the United States government is aware, but the citizens, some of the citizens here in the United States are not aware. And that is why I am bringing this attention to the United States citizens and to the government of the United States, that it is very, very important that the United States make drastic decisions. Otherwise, West Africa will turn into chaos. And it will turn into a chaos in a system where the United States will also be dragged in. And that is why it is better that the United States do it now and for the peace and tranquility to prevail in West Africa. It is very, very important that the United States understand the magnitude of this crisis. It is important that the United States look into this as a matter of urgency, because failure to do so, the West African region will turn into chaos sooner or later. It is very, very crucial that I am requesting that the military of the United States Department of Defense, the President of the United States, the Congress, the U.S. Senate, this is an open request that Paul Biya of Cameroon need to be dethroned. It is a very, very urgent. I have never mentioned this statement, but I think it is time that the United States has to do this. We have been speaking about these issues about United Nations. It seems United Nations pay a deaf ear. It seems the United Nations is not aware of the reality and the magnitude of the crisis. Of course, we've been speaking. We believe that United Nations can do this. But unfortunately, United Nations is a crisis center that lacks the value that we expect them to do. But unfortunately, this is an open request for the United States government to immediately dethrone Biya, and Congress need to approve these decisions. And without doing this, West Africa region is going to turn into a drastic scene that one will not expect. And that is why I am making this statement this evening, and I will proceed again tomorrow, that it is imperative that United States government can do this without authorization from the United Nations. And we all know how the permanent representatives at the United Nations, Nikki Haley, spoke clearly, drastically, but it doesn't occur that United Nations can discuss about these matters. And so therefore, I understand United States can unanimously take such a decisions and do it for humanitarian crisis. So the video that I'm going to show you is going to take about three minutes. Pay attention and listen to the video, and you will be amazed and frustrated what should be happening, and the world remains silent. And so this is an open request. I am asking the United States government, that United States government, the U.S. Department of Defense need to dethrone Paul Biya for lasting peace to reign in West Africa. As United States fail to do so, it's going to turn into chaotic scene. And that is why I am making this request to the United States Department of Defense, to the President of the United States, to the U.S. State Department. I understand there are no arsenal like the one in North Korea. It takes 24 hours for the U.S. Department of Defense and dethrone Biya and let the peace reign. Otherwise, West Africa is going to turn into chaos. And when it turns into chaos, the United States will still be dragged in. And that is why I'm sitting here, because it's going to link with Nigeria. As Nigeria is simply merging into anarchy. And that is why I'm calling on the United States Department of Defense, U.S. Congress. It is a matter of urgency that Paul Biya, 86 years old, need to be dethroned. And I'm going to show this video for you to watch, and then let's proceed. Okay, take time and you watch this movie. You watch this. It's not a movie, it's a reality. Those are homes that are being burnt. This is not a second It's not a movie, it's a reality. This is not a movie, it's a reality. It's what the Paul Biya regime is currently doing in West Africa. These are military, and they are burning homes. And the next video, you're going to see a civilian that were already been arrested, and they were already surrendered, and see what happens to them. And that is why it is imperative that United States government imperatively, immediately do something about this, because it's not a movie, it's something that is happening by the military of La République du Cameroon. Watch. It takes about 3 to 5 minutes. It is imperative that United States government do something about it. It's not North Korea that requires an Oslo. Look at what's going to happen with those civilians that are languishing. First, the homes have been burned down. United States doesn't tolerate this. I have watched the United States government, I've watched engage in war, but look, watch, see what's going to happen. Look what's going to happen. That is exactly look, those are citizens, those are people. It doesn't matter whatever the circumstances. They are already surrendered. They have no. This is absolutely disgusting. It is imperative that Paul Biya needs to be dethroned immediately, because it is of basically no value. It is absolutely disgusting.